We're gonna do a review today. Was it with a Wii? And a... No. Oh, Xbox. Xbox. Xbox, kill! No, we were gonna do the N64. We were gonna do a thing with these games. No. Not today. Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah. Banjo Tooie. Now this is a great game. Banjo Tooie. The only successor really to Banjo-Kazooie. I don't know what you're thinking. What's so good about a game about a bird and bear running around with a backpack? Everything. This game is a masterpiece. It does two things that most modern games today don't really do. It combines humor and adventure. Humor is something that is left out of most games today. These big old video game companies taking themselves so seriously. Just like me! Anyway, this game is the amazing sequel to Banjo-Kazooie. So, let me just give you a quick rundown of what happened in this game. So, you play as a bear. That's him, Banjo. And you have to save your sister, who is also a bear, and she was captured by this evil witch named Gruntilda, and she's not a bear. And you run around with this little bird in your backpack. Anywho, you and the bird go into the witch's lair, which is conveniently located right next to your house. And if you're gonna buy a house, it's probably not the best thing to do to move in right next to a witch. Something is bound to happen. So you go into there and you're already to fight this lady when the doors are locked. Oh man, swiped for a fight. So to unlock the doors, you have to get these little music notes. But the notes, you have to get to the jiggies. But you get the jiggies, you need to have to go into the levels. When you get into the levels, you need the jiggies. But to get to the next levels, you need the music notes. It's like a lot of platformers from that time. You ever played Mario 64? It's like that, but with bears. So you have to collect these jiggies and music notes to get to the end. That's where you fight Gruntilda, and you totally freaking kill her. Like a boss. A bear boss. Banjo-Kazooie captured the hearts of gamers everywhere, and for 2 long years we waited for a sequel. In the year 2000, our prayers were answered. Banjo Tooie was born, and it was gold! The game did what all good sequels do. It added new material while keeping what made the first one so damn magical. But what exactly did it do? Let's get into it. Tooie starts off with all our favorite characters from the first game playing cards. The opening sets the game up for what the tone is gonna be the rest of the game, which is goofy and adventurous. So, this time Gruntilda's sisters come to save her and bring her back to life. Now they drive through your living space, blowing up everything, and they kill bottles! Bottles! This whole opening sets up for taking Banjo off to a new land and a new adventure. The opening cinematic just really makes you want to go out into a tunnel and chase down the witches. It does a great job of setting it up for adventure. So gameplay. This game actually does something really cool. With most sequels, you come into the game and you have to relearn all the moves that you learned in the last game. It's like your character got hit in the head by a rock and now you have to spoon feed him the moves that you really want to do. But no, Tooie assumes that you know the moves already, and that's awesome! Even if you don't know all the moves, there is optional tutorial waiting for you if you need it. And if you really want to, you can just jump straight into the story, and this is a very special thing. You can play these games back to back, and you only have to play through one tutorial. So you keep moving through the game, and there's a very apparent change in the way that you play. You're in a world that is right next to Banjo's house. There's a king of Jingos, and all the Jingos live in this little kingdom. So does Bottles' family, and the whole time Banjo and Kazooie dance around the fact that Bottles has died. It's actually really funny, but also a wee bit dark. But Then you find out that Bottles told everyone that he was the actual hero of Banjo-Kazooie. Douche. Stealing my fame. Anyway, the worlds are much bigger and more complex than the first game. There are a lot of changes in these new worlds. Not only are there new characters, there's a whole lot of new characters, but new attacks and new moves to learn. One of the best ones is the aimer for the egg shooting. This helps out a lot and adds a new element to the game. Aiming quick. Sometimes to avoid losing life, you have to aim quickly and hit the target. Man, it gets really hard. Another one is that Banjo can now grab onto the edges. Apparently before, he didn't know how to grab onto things. I guess it just takes a military mold to really teach you better. Who would have thought? Anyway, this is so useful. It was so hard to stay on those tiny paths in Banjo-Kazooie. There are a few more things, like being able to shoot eggs in the air, and my favorite move, where you take Kazooie and swing them around at your enemies. Whenever the feathery little bastard gives me a hard time, just pick him up and swing around a little bit. I'll teach him to mouth off. There are just so many awesome things in this game. You get to play as Mumbo, and you can cast spells that do all sorts of different things. Now, Mumbo doesn't transform you into things anymore. That's Wumbo's job now. Also, in the game, there are new challenges added. Little mini-games that you have to win in order for you to move on. And as always, there's always that splendid game music. Ooh! It just makes me want to get up and dance. You know, like... And this game just makes you want to keep playing it. I mean, the adventure is so enthralling. The witches keep stealing away the life force of these characters that you get to know and love. It really makes you hate the witches and want to beat them. You hear that, Gruntilda? Generic fat witch and generic skinny witch? I'm coming for you! I saw what you did to King Jingo! You go out there not only to find Jiggies, but this time you're out to save these poor people, and you take on all these perils to save the world, and Kazooie still says some dumb things. Actually, most characters in the game say pretty dumb stuff. It makes you laugh. I know I brought it up earlier, but the running gag of lying about Bottle's death is always really funny. Another new thing that I really just have to cover is eggs. You got your fire eggs, your ice eggs, your splody eggs, your ice eggs, all sorts of eggs. Dozens of eggs. So many eggs, but in all seriousness, the eggs really help you out, and they add a whole new game mechanic. There are certain enemies that you can only kill with certain eggs, so you have to stay up to stock on all of your eggs, adding all these new types of strategies and giving the game so much more depth. If you are out of a certain type of egg, then sometimes you can't kill an enemy. It causes you to be very cautious and not shoot eggs all willy-nilly, like in the first game. Oh yeah, and there's multiplayer too. I mean, I still play this game today with my friends. Man, there's just so many awesome things about Banjo-Kazooie. I love it. It's amazing. There's really no other words to describe it. Maybe fantabulous? I don't know. Anyway, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, both great games. And Banjo Tooie, one of the best sequels that there is. That gets me really excited for Banjo 3. Oh man.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark cold hotel.
Hi, thanks for watching my first video review. If you got any comments, why don't you post them down here in the little box area below. That's where all the people enunciate their voices down there and talk on the YouTubes. And right about here you can find new Super Melee Bros, and maybe if we made it, I might be pointing to nothing, but this might be Kirby Air Ride.